Hi guys, this is Mr. Richard. So in this video, we are going to work with November Paper 1, 2022, Grade 12. Yes, National Senior Certificate. Yes. Right. The paper was 3 hours and the marks were 115. Right. If you are new to this channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to press the red button and subscribe and press the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video. Right. Specifically today, we are going to look at functions. Right. Let's take a look. Well, we are at question 8 today. We are looking at the graph of a parabola. Yes, but this is a first derivative graph. Yes, it's a first derivative graph. So we need to have a knowledge of differentiation. A knowledge of a cubic function is also required to know in this case. So first thing first, let's read them. The graph of y is equals to the first derivative of f of x, which is equals to mx squared plus nx plus k is drawn below. Then the graph passes the point p -1 and -1/3 and 0, and q is given as 1 and 0 as shown in the graph, and r is given as 0 and 1. It's a y-intercept. So P and Q note that they are x-intercept. So we are required to find the value of M, N, and K. Right, okay? First thing first, to find the value of K, let's see how many marks is this. Oh, 6 marks, right? That means we need to put in the work. Okay. To find these values of M and N and K, let's look what form should we use or method, right? When you look at here, we have two x-intercept and the other point, which is the y-intercept. So there's a certain formula that we are going to use them. Let's put it into practice. As I've stated, right, we are at question 8, Q8. All right, let's put these into practice. So we are going to use this type of formula given to x-intercept. So we're going to say a which is equals to x minus x1 and x minus x2. Okay. When you're given 2x-intercept and the other point, you can use this formula. So, okay. Remember our first x-coordinate was minus 1/3. So we're supposed to put 1/3 there. That will be positive. Then we have positive 1. That will be minus 1. That passes through r. R was 0 and 1, which is the y-intercept there. This is x and this is y. Okay. Okay. So where there is x, we shall put 0. And where there is y, we shall put 1. Okay. Then this will be 1. And here will be 0 plus 1/3 and 0 minus 1. Okay. So let's see. 0 plus 1/3, that will be 1/3. 0 minus 1, that will be minus 1. And this is 1. So 1/3 minus, it's going to be negative 1/3a. Then we are going to divide both sides by negative 1/3. When you divide both sides by negative 1/3, you'll be left with, or we can multiply by -3. So that makes it a is -3, which is true, guys. Why I'm saying so? Let's go back to the graph then. Yes, it's a set face. When you see this type of graph, it's a set face, so the graph will concave down. It will be upset. Yes, so that's how it should be. So definitely right. Okay, but we are not done. They said we need to find the values of M and K. So how do we find those? Let's go back here. We are going back here and we are going to substitute. Okay, remember that a is given as -3. Then we have x plus 1/3. Okay, So the second step will be expansion. So we need to expand. Okay, we're going to use FOIL method, or we can use distributive property. X times x, that will be x squared. This will be 1 over 3x, and negative 1 times x, that will be minus x. Then we have 1/3 minus 1, that will be minus 1/3. Okay, let's work out this thing that is inside the bracket. Okay, all right. So there we have 1/3. What is 1/3? The like terms, right? Start with the like terms. 1/3 minus 1, that will be minus 2/3. So that will be x squared minus 2 all over 3 x minus 1 all over 3. Okay, so 3 will multiply everything that is inside the bracket. 3 times negative 3 times x squared, that will be negative 3x squared. But negative 2 all over 3 multiplied by negative 3. What is that? That will be positive 2. So we are going to have positive 2x. Then what is negative 3 multiplied by negative 1 over 3rd? Definitely that will be positive 1. Okay, so we have this type of an equation where, remember that it was given as y is equals to the derivative of f of x, which is equals to mx squared plus nx plus k. So to write this, we know that this is m, which is minus 3, and this is n, which is gonna be 2, and k as 1. Then you get 6 marks for saying this. Probably you'll get 1 mark for this, and maybe 1 mark for substitution this. Then you'll get another marks will come from here. Then that's how you are going to get the beautiful 6 marks. Right. Okay. Now this, we are at 8.2. It is further given that f of x is equals to minus x cubed plus x squared plus x plus 2. Okay, that's a cubic function. Determine the coordinates of the turning point of f, right? So that's 3 marks. Guys, when it comes to this equation, this type of question, you need to think of remember that the turning point of a cubic function is the first derivative. So when we derive this equation, we're still gonna get the same graph that that is drawn here. We're still gonna get the same equation. We're still gonna get this equation. So, but what are they looking for here? They're looking for the turning points. So in other words, we already have the x turning point. What we are looking for in this case, we are going to look at the y turning points. Okay, we're going to look at the y turning points. So that's why this question, it's 3 marks in this case. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are going to take minus 1 over 3 and 1, and we'll substitute them on the original equation, which is f of x, right? Okay, let's put that into practice. That is 8.2, 8.2.1. okay, remember that x is given as, when x is minus 1 over 3, what is y? That will be the case. Let's go to take our calculator there. All right. So what are we going to do then? We are going to use the original equation. So we are going to say negative 1/3. Okay, let's go there. 1/3 this is not 1/3 1 over 3 cube. Why I wrote 6 instead of 3? So this should be 2, this should be 3, right? Then let's put this into practice. Plus okay, we have plus -1 over 3 x squared. Okay, plus, okay, if we put negative minus, it will be 1 over 3 here, plus 2. So what did I do there? So definitely it will be 49 all over 27. So meaning that when x is -1 over 3, it will be 49 all over 27. So what happened when x is 1? Okay, let's go back and put that into practice. When x is 1, then let's see, we have minus 1 to the power of 3, then we have plus 1 squared, okay, plus 1 plus 2, that's 3. Okay, so when x is 1, remember that we're looking for the coordinates of the turning point, so it's going to be 1 and 3. So that's how you can get 3 marks for saying that. Yeah, some will prefer to derive these and find the turning point of the graph of f. Yes, they will first derive this. After that, they will get this. They will get here. After that, they will factorize and find these values. It will give you -1 over 3 and 1. Then you will take this and substitute them into an original equation to get the coordinates of the turning point of f. So that's what you were supposed to. That's what you're supposed to do when you're faced with such equations. Sorry for that. Let's go to 8.2.2. Draw the graph of f. Indicate on your graph the coordinates of the turning points and the intercepts with the x-axis. Okay, let's put that into practice. First thing first, we need to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept before we can go further. We already have the turning points, right? So we draw the graph. Okay, so we are at 8.2.2. So this is what you should do. Just go to the original graph there, which is -x cubed plus x squared plus x plus 2. So since it's a cubic equation, there are many alternatives that we can use in this case. Others can use inspection. They will solve this by inspection. Others can use K method. Others can use long division. Others can use synthetic division, but I prefer to use synthetic. So, but first thing first, before we use synthetic, let's take our calculator there and look for possible factors that can work here. Let's start with 1. Remember, we have -1 cube plus 1 squared plus 1 plus 2. What is that? That's 3. Wow, that's it should give us 0 if it's a factor in this equation, right? Let's try -1 then. Okay, let's try -1 and see what are we getting there. That's we still get 3. Let's try 2 then. +2. If we get 0, that means it's a factor of this equation, or of this function, right? So, oh, it gives us 0. This is beautiful. That means we have x equals to 2, which is the same as x minus 2. It's a factor of this equation. Okay, that's beautiful. Then what we could use, we can use a synthetic, as I've stated. It's a backward L. So here you are going to place the factor that we have calculated here. Then we'll take the coefficients, right? Is take negative 1, 1, as well as 1, as well as 2, the constant. Drop the first coefficient, which is negative 1. Negative 1 times 2, that will be minus 2. Then when you add minus 2 plus 1, you are going to definitely get negative 1. And negative 1 times the factor, it's going to be, which is going to be minus 2. Minus 2 plus 1 is going to be negative 1 again. Then what is going to happen? Negative 2, negative 1 times 2 is going to be negative 2. Negative 2 is going to be 0. Then we are done. That's how you can use a synthetic. So can you see? We have now a trinomial. So our first factor there, we are going to write this in this form: ax squared plus bx. Yes, we have ax squared plus bx plus c, right? Which is the same as equals to 0. So what is a? A, it's negative. Okay, the coefficient, right? B is going to be minus. Put 1 there, so this is going to be minus x. The constant is going to be minus 1. Right, when you want to solve this, we can divide both sides by negative. So it's going to be x squared plus x plus 1 equated to 0. Remember that we now have x minus 2, the factor. This is beautiful, guys. This is beautiful. So we have x minus 2, x squared plus x plus 1 equated to 0. So the first factor there, we already, if we equate by 0, we get x is equals to 2. What about this? Can we factorize this? Oh, the factors of 1 doesn't satisfy the middle term. Well, let's think of a quadratic. If we can use a quadratic, still doesn't make sense. So that means there's no solution in this case. So NA, not applicable. We are going to have that not applicable. But how can we find the y-intercept? Go back to the original by placing 0 there. Let's place 0. Negative 0 cubed there, that's 0. Plus 0 squared plus 0 plus 2, that's going to be 2. So the y-intercept in this case will be 0 and 2. So let's put this into practice by drawing. Remember that since a is negative in this case, so when a is less than 0, your graph will have something like this, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So let's draw this graph. Let's first place the intercept first. 0, 1, 2. So it's going to be 0 and 2. Okay. And we have 0, 1, 2. It's going to be 2 and 0. Okay. So what are we having here? In other words, we are, let's join this. Let's join this. Yeah. This is bad sketch. Okay. It's a bad sketch. Let's redraw it. Okay. Let me redraw it again. Then we have, remember we have 2 and 0 here. So we will have something like this. So then it passes somewhere here, which is 2 and 0 again. So we have 0 and 2. Yes. Oh, so this is not a Y-intercept. This is not a turning point, so it should be somewhere here. Sorry for that. So yes, sorry for this. Yes. So this is a Y-intercept. So this is the turning point. We also have a turning point here. So remember that what we got, our turning point there was the one with negative was negative 1/3 and 49 all over 27. And let's go back and see what did we have again. The X turning point was 1/3. So it was 1 and 3. So we have 1 and 3. So definitely this will be a sketch. Yes, yeah, mine is messy, but you'll use a ruler to draw it. So this is how the sketch should be. Okay, so another thing, we how many marks is that? Right, that was 5 marks. Then we are at 8.3. Points E and W are two variables on F on the first derivative on the same set of a horizontal line. So H is a tangent. It's a tangent to F at E, and G is a tangent to F to the first derivative at W, and they both intersect at D, which is A and B. Write down the value of A. Okay. All right. So we need to put this into practice. Let's quickly draw it on the sketch. First thing first, we have to draw the tangent. Okay, first thing first, they said there's a horizontal line. Okay, they're on the same horizontal line, this tangent. Let me just draw here. I have something like this. Okay, then the tangent will just pass us here. Remember, it touches the graph at once. Then we're going to have another tangent that passes. Okay, that passes here. So they said they intersected D. Our D will be somewhere here. This will be our D. Okay, yes, we'll have something like this, but you will draw well. Remember that it shouldn't touch the other. It will touch once. So it could be E. Okay, this will be E and W. Yes, you'll draw well. Yours will be accurate, guys. Right. So what are they looking for? And remember that we have the turning point here in this case. Our turning point of this graph, you may recall that what we had there, the equation of this graph was 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. So to find a turning point in this case, we can use negative b all over 2a. Yes, since it's a quadratic. Let's see if we use what was the turning point first here. Okay, if we say negative b all over 2a, our b was it was positive 2, so we're going to have negative 2. Oh, positive 2 there, sorry for that. So it's 2. Then our a. Okay, let me just study refresh. Our a was minus 3. Okay, so meaning that our turning point should be 1/3. The x value should be 1/3. So to get the y value, let's see, you substitute to the original graph, which is 3, which is this. Okay, we're going to substitute to that graph. So what are we going to get there? 1/3 plus what? Plus 1. Okay, yeah, right. That will be 4/3. So Mind you, this is the turning point. So in this case, we are going to have 1/3 and 4/3. Okay, this is very vital to write because it will help us. So the symmetry line will pass us here. So and there will be a symmetry line that passes here. Okay. So what are they looking for? They want the value of A of D. The value of A of D so the symmetry line, they will share the same X value, which is going to be 1/3 in this case. So that makes A in this case that makes A 1/3. A is going to be 1/3 in this case. Okay. Hope you find that useful. A is going to be 1/3, right? Because here, remember that they share the same X value when we draw the symmetry line in this case. But guys, you will draw well. Use a ruler there so that your work becomes more accurate. Right. That's how many marks? That's 1. All right. So, okay, let's read the last question. 8.3.2, determine the values of B for which H and G will no longer be a tangent of the first derivative. When they say it will be no longer, meaning that when we move this line, when we shift this tangent, it will touch twice now. It will become now a second. When you redraw it, okay, when we move this, it will touch twice. So in the graph, it will touch twice. It will be no longer a tangent. Now it will be a second. So remember that a tangent is a line that touches once. Yes, it touches once. So, but if it touches twice, meaning that it will go down nyana here, then we know it will touch us twice. It will touch twice. It will be no longer a tangent. It will be now a second. So in this case, we are going to find B. Definitely B will be 4/3. So it will be this case, right? Okay. So B will be 4/3. This happens where B is less than 4/3. Then this is how you are going to get that 2 marks. Hope you find this video useful, and don't forget to comment and don't forget to subscribe and like. See you on the next video where we are going to look at question 9. Then guys, we are left with question 10 at November 2022. We really appreciate for those who keep subscribing. Remember that we only subscribe once. For those of you who are in grade 11 this year, this video will be also helpful in the upcoming terms or next year, which is 2023. So don't forget to subscribe and share. You only subscribe once. We love you. Hi guys, this is Mr. Richard. Hope you are well. In this video, we are going to work with November 2022 grade 12 mathematics paper 1 for CAPS learners who are in South Africa, right? So we are given the graphs of g of x is equals to 2x plus 6, and the inverse of g are shown in the diagram below, where D and B are the x-intercept and y-intercept, the x and y-intercept of g, right? So, and we are being told that C is the y-intercept of the inverse, and the graphs of G and the inverse intersect at A. Okay. So the first question requires us to write down the y-coordinate of B, in which it's 1 mark, right? So let's put that into practice. Okay. So this will be question 5.1. They want us to write the y-coordinate of which graph? Of the given graph, which is y is equals to 2x plus 6. So g of x, we can replace it by y. Since, as we can see from there, B cuts at y, so it's a y-intercept. In other words, let x be 0. Where there is x, we are going to replace it by 0. So we are going to say 2 times 0, it's 0. 0 plus 6 is going to be 6. So in other words, your y coordinate is 6, right? Y coordinate of B, sorry for that, the y coordinate of B is 6. Then you get 1 mark for saying that. Then let's go to the second question, which is 5.2. The second question requires us to determine the inverse of G in the form of inverse, which is equals to mx plus n. Okay, so how are we going to work out this? This is 2 marks. All right, an inverse of a straight line, it's still a straight line. That's what you should know. Inverse of a straight line, it's a straight line. So we are going to swap the variables. Where there is a y, there will be x, and where there is y, there will be, where there is x, there will be y. We just swap the variables. Then to make y the subject, transpose 6 to the other side, it becomes x minus 6, which is equals to 2y. You will then divide both sides by 2, divide both sides by 2. So to make things easier, we can divide everything by, so to make y, all right, so we need to fix this. Everything will be separated by dividing by 2. So x divided by 2, it's the same as half x. How many times does 2 goes into 6? It goes 3 times. So it's going to be half x minus 3. So they wanted us to leave it in a form of inverse of g of x, which is equals to half x minus 3. So that's how you are going to get that 2 marks, right? So let's go to 5.3. Determine the coordinate of A. We were told from the statement that the graph, this is where both graph intersect. So meaning that this is a point of intersection. When it's a point of intersection, you're going to equate both graphs, right? Meaning that the graph of the original and the graph of the inverse will be equated together. So let's put that into practice. So we have, what are we going to have here? We are going to have 5.3. At 5.3, we are going to have 2x plus 6, which is equals to half x minus 3. So to solve such thing, because we have a fraction here, we could multiply by 2. Everything will multiply it by 2 so that we get rid of a fraction. So multiply by 2 at the left hand side, at the right hand side, multiply by 2. 2 times 2 is going to be 4x, and 6 times 2 is going to be 12. Then this and this, they will cancel. We're left with x, and 3 times 2 is going to be minus 6. So from here, we could just take x to the other side. For x minus x, it's going to be 3x, as well as we are having 12. When you take 12 to the other side, it's the same as negative 6, which is will be minus 18. So negative 6 minus 12, it's 18. Divide both sides by 3. How many times does 3 goes into 18? It goes 6 times. So we will have negative 6, right? So to make life easier, they set the coordinates of A, right? So what you could do, take this x coordinate and substitute. You can substitute here, right? Let's substitute to 2x plus 6 to get the y value. So let's put negative 6 there, plus 6. This will be minus 12, plus 6. It's the same as 6 minus 12, which will be minus 6. So meaning that our x value is going to be negative 6, and our y value is going to be negative 6. Okay, so guys, let's go to 5.4. Yes, at 5.4, we are required to calculate the length of AB. How many marks is that? That's 2 marks. So since they want the length, this is what you should do when they want a length. Remember, you need to have the coordinates of A. It's given as negative 6 and 6. And we did find the coordinate of B, which is 0 and 6 from 5.1. So we are going to use a distance formula to calculate the length. So, okay, this is x of 1, x of 2. This is the same as 0 minus negative 6, okay, squared. Okay, similarly here, plus. So it's going to be 6 minus 6. Okay, so what are we going to have? 0, negative 6, that will be positive 6. 6 squared is going to be 36. So negative 6 and negative 6 is going to be positive 12. 12 squared is going to be 144. So in this case, we are going to have 136 plus 144. That will be 180, guys. It's 180, right? So finding the square root of 180 in this manner will be 180 will be 180 will be it's going to be, you can punch your calculator there, it's going to be 6 root 5. So we have 180 here, we have AB squared, therefore this will be, we root both sides, so the length can never be negative, we only going to take the one that is positive. So it's going to be 6 root 5. So what is 6 root 5 in decimal places? That will be, punch your calculator, that will be 13,42. So which is equals to 13,42 units. So that's how you can work out the length of AB. So we are going to our last question, which will be a 5.5. Calculate the length of triangle ABC. Guys, what we could see here, they said triangle ABC. We can construct here. You can see that this forms a triangle, right? But what type of a triangle is this? Is it the right triangle? No, it's a non-right triangle. Since it's a non-right triangle, they want us to get an area. When it's a non-right triangle, this is what you should remember. Trig rules will apply: cosine rule, sine rule, and area rule. But in this case, the area rule will apply. But we need to find the length of AB. Already we have calculated this. So we also need to find the length of AC as well as the length of BC before we proceed. Let's put that into practice. Yes, as I've stated, the length of AB, it's 6 root 5. So we need to calculate the length of AC first. So to find the length of AC, you may recall that this is negative 6 as well as negative 6. And to find C, what is C? C cuts at the graph of the inverse of G. So meaning that C is the x-intercept. So you may recall that the graph of an inverse was given as half x minus 3. So to let y be 0, so that you are going to calculate for an x-intercept. Take 3 to the other side, it becomes positive 3. Okay, divide by half, that will give you 6, right? So meaning that C, it's 6 and 0. Okay, so right, so it's going to be 6 and 0. Okay, we are going to have 6 and 0. So to make life easier, we need to calculate the length. So it's going to be AC squared. Remember, this is x1 and this is x2. So our x2 is going to be 6 minus negative 6. Okay, let me just put the brackets there. Squared plus our y2 is going to be 0 minus negative 6 squared there. When we square this, it's the same. This is negative 6 and 6. It's the same as 12, right? The same as 1. Yeah, yes, it's 12, but 12 squared is going to be 144. Let's work out this. 0 minus negative 6, that's going to be positive 6. Positive 6 squared, that's going to be 36. And what is 144 plus 36? That is 180. So AC squared, when we root both sides, we get AC, which is equals to 6 root 5, right? Okay, so we can see that also at AC, that's 6 root 5. What does that tell us? That means AB and AC are equal. What type of a triangle? When two sides are equal, that's an isosceles triangle. But we also need to calculate the length of BC, right? Okay, BC, so we are going to say BC squared. Remember that B was given as 0 and 6, and that C was given as 6 and 0. Sorry for that, 6 and 0. So this is x1 and this is x2. So what is that? It's going to be x2 is going to be 6 subtracted by 0, so which makes it squared there, plus y2, which is 0 subtracted by 6. So what are we getting? 0 minus 6, it's going to be 6 squared. Okay, and the other side is also going to be 6 squared, which will give us 36 plus 36. So we have BC squared, we have BC squared in this case. BC squared will be 36 plus 36, that will be 72. So, okay, so we need to find the square root of 72. So use a calculator there to calculate the square root of 72. The square root of 72, that will be 6 root 2. Okay, it's going to be 6 root 2 in this case. So we could see that from here at BC we have 6 root 2. Okay, so we are not done, guys. We need to calculate the area. So to make life easier, what we could do, we can use a cosine rule, since we have two side and included angle in between. Two side and included angle. The included angle, or the given angle, the included angle, I mean, it's A. So what we could do to use a cosine rule, we are going to say BC squared, which is this side. The relative of A, it's this side. So it's going to be BC squared, which will be the opposite sides, which is AB and AC. So the sum of AB squared plus AC squared. This is a cosine rule. Minus 2AB, okay, multiply by AC cos A, which is an included angle, right? Okay, so what is BC? You may recall that BC is given as 6 root squared there. What is AB? You may recall that it was given as 6 root 5 squared, as well as 6 root 5 squared times 2, 6 root 5, and 6 root 5, as well as cos A, angle A. Okay, so what we could do, guys, let's take our calculator there and punch 6 root 2 squared. Okay, to make life easier here, I could say squared there. That will be 72. Okay, this will be 72. Then what we could do there, let's put this 6 root 5 squared plus 6 plus, open the bracket, 6 root 5, okay, squared, no, what am I doing? Calculates up mistakes. So that will be 360. Okay, that will be 360. Similarly, even this 2 will give us 360. Let's see, but let's confirm that. Negative 2 times 6 root 5 there, as well as 6 root 5. Okay, that will be in minus 360, as well as we have minus 360 cos A. So in this case, we can take this to the other side. 72 subtracted by 360, that will give you negative 288. So negative 288, which will be, you'll be left with negative 360 cos A. Remember, our aim is to get A as the angle, so we could say divide by 360. So we get rid of negative because the other side is also negative. So we have cos A, which is equals to 4 all over 5. Yes, that's 4 all over 5, right? So, okay. Then we are going to say second function, 4 all over 5. What is that? Okay. Alright. But it's my calculator, it's in fix. So I just don't want to round off yet. But this is what you're going to do. 4 root 5 there. Oh, 4 over 5, sorry for that. So in other words, we are having we're going to have angle A is 36,8698765. Yeah, let's not round off yet. So what we are not done. We need to calculate the area of triangle ABC. So the area will be, sorry for that, area of triangle ABC is going to be half. Remember to use an area, two sides, and included angle. Right. So what you could do there. So to use a sine area rule, remember two side and an included angle. So this is what we are going to do. So you're going to say half AB multiplied by AC. Those are the two sides. Multiplied by sine A. Don't say cos here. So it's going to be sine A. Sorry for that. This is sine A. Okay, angle A there. So we are going to put AB as 6 root 5 and AC as 6 root 5. So this is going to be sine of what? Sine of 36 comma 86 9, is it 9897 blah blah blah. Then from there you can punch your calculator. Let's try to punch our calculator. Then we are going to say half as well as 6 root 5. Okay, 6 root 5. Okay, multiplied by sine what? Sine of A 36 whatever there. Let me just say answer. So what are we getting there? Definitely we are getting 54. So meaning that our answer will be 54 units squared. So that's the area of triangle ABC. So that's how you're going to get that 13 marks. The last question was a little bit tedious. Hope you find this video useful, and don't forget to comment and subscribe and like. Right, let's grow this channel, let's grow the community. Let's we are nearly on 200 subscribers. Let's keep watching, let's keep subscribing, let's share. Sharing is caring. And don't forget, we love you.